Hello, geometry class. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to look at composite figures. So what a composite figure is it's a shape made up of lots of shapes put together. It might be a shape that contains circles and triangles and squares and rectangles. Lots of shapes just put together. And most things we see in the real world aren't just one shape. There are lots of shapes put together. So we're going to look at finding the area of those. So here we see kind of like an ice cream cone. So we have two shapes in this ice cream cone. The first shape, here we have a circle. So you guys should know that the area of a circle is equal to pi times the radius squared. So we're going to use that. And the other shape we see is a triangle. A triangle, the area is equal to 1/2 base times height. All right. So for our area, let's start off looking at our circle. So this isn't a complete circle. It's not going all the way around. It looks like just half a circle. So we find the area of our circle, and we can just divide it by 2. So the area of this circle is going to equal to pi times the radius squared. The radius here is going to equal to half our diameter. Looks like the diameter here is equal to 1 inch. So our radius is going to equal 1/2. And we're going to square that. So if we take this area and then we divide it by 2, we should get the area of our half circle here. Let's bring up our calculator and do that. So we have pi times parentheses 1 divided by 2 squared, all divided by 2. And we get 0.392699, went around that to 0.4. So it's equal to 0.4, in this case, it's going to be inches squared. All right, now my triangle. So my triangle, it looks like my triangle has a base of 1 inch. So B is going to equal to 1, but our height isn't 1 inch. Let's mix up our colors here. So if I use this as my base, my height is going to be right there. So there's a couple different ways we could figure out our height. One way is by using SOHCAHTOA, which we learned last chapter. This looks like an equilateral triangle, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. So that means each of these sides is going to, each of these vertices is going to equal 60 degrees. So that means this angle is going to equal 30. This one's going to equal 60. We could use SOHCAHTOA to find our missing side here. I think there's an easier way though. If this is an inch, we know this little side here is going to be 1/2 inch. We'll call it 0.5 inches. And this is a right triangle, so we can find our height. Actually, let's use h as our height, not x. I call it h. H is our height. We can use the Pythagorean theorem to find our missing side. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So let's say h squared plus 0.5 squared is equal to c squared, which is going to be 1 inch squared. So h squared plus 0.5 squared, 0.5 times 0.5 is going to equal to 0.25, is equal to 1 squared. 1 times 1 is 1. If we're solving for h, we need to subtract 0.25 from both sides to get h squared is equal to 0.75. Now to get h all by itself, we need to get rid of the squared, so the opposite of squared is square root. So h will equal be equal to the square root of 0.75. I'm going to need my calculator for that one. Should be 8 point something. The square root of 0.75 is equal, that's the square root of 75. The square root of 0.75 doesn't want to do that for me. Square root of too many that time. 0.75 is equal to, there we go, 0.866. So let's call it that, 0.866. So now we can use our formula here. Area is equal to 1/2 base times height. So the area is equal to 1/2 times my base, which we said was 1, times my height, which we got 0.8664. So 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. 1/2 of 0.866 is going to equal 0.433. So now this composite function, this composite shape here, we just need to add our two areas together. So 0.4 plus 0.433 will give us our total area. 0.4 plus 0.433, and that's going to equal 0.833, and this is inches squared. All right, let's look at another shape. An umbrella here. So we need to break this down into some smaller shapes. It looks like this shape here is, once again, half of a circle. So we have half a circle. And then we have this rectangle, and then we have another circle right here going on. So let's do, first we'll just start at the top and work our way down. So up top here we have half a circle. So for half a circle, we have area is equal to pi r squared for the area of a circle. R here, it looks like it's 7 centimeters. Pi r squared. And we only want half of that, so we'll divide that by 2. So the area is equal to pi times 7 squared. I know 7 squared is 49, so I'm going to put in 49. Divided by 2. And we get 76.969. Let's round up to 77. So it's going to be 77 centimeters squared. All right, one down. Now, let's get this rectangle here. That should be the easiest one. It looks like our base is 10, and we need to find our height. If we look over here at this 2 centimeters, it looks like the thickness of our umbrella is 2 centimeters. So the area of this middle portion is going to be base times height, 10 times 2, or 20 centimeters squared. All right, we're getting there. So we have 77 centimeters, and I'm going to add to that 20 centimeters squared. All right, this last part's going to be the toughest, I think. So if we take a look at this last part, we have half a circle here, but part of it is taken out. It looks like a protractor there. Part of it's taken out. So if we find this big semicircle here, then we can subtract out this little opening here. Let's try and do that. All right, so our big circle it looks like it has a radius of 2 plus 3, 5. So the area of, we'll call it B for big circle, is equal to pi times the radius squared. But we know that that's just half of a circle. So we're going to divide that by 2. Let's get out the calculator. And we have pi times 5 squared is 25, divided by 2 is equal to 39.3 centimeters squared. So now we need to take out this little circle here. We need to subtract that from our big circle. So the area of, call our small circle, is going to be equal to pi times the radius of that small circle. Looks like it's 3 squared over 2. We're going to divide it by 2 again because it's only half the circle. Alright, so let's put that in our calculator. Pi times 3 squared is 9, divided by 2 is equal to 14.1. Alright, so if we want to know this area, we need to subtract our big circle from the small circle. So we take 39.3 minus 14.1. And when I do that, I get 25.2 centimeters squared. So I'm going to add that up here. If I add all these together, we have 5 plus 7 is 12, 8, 10, 122.2 centimeters squared. Is going to equal my total area for this pretty umbrella. Alright, if you have any questions about this lesson, let me know in class. Hope you enjoyed.